Hey guys, Super Jackster1 here, and I'm back. I just got back from the movie theater because tonight I just went to go see Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and here's my movie ticket in case you want to take a good look. I pre-ordered this back in October when it came out. Okay, and I ended up actually having to go by myself. Initially, in my previous two videos, I said I was going to go with my work friend, Sarah, but unfortunately, she ended up being unable to make it, so I just went by myself, and that was cool. And I actually got some audience reactions. I'm actually going to be seeing the movie again tomorrow night with my dad, so please let me know in the comments if you're interested in... I might do audience reactions for those, so I might combine the two videos. Like, what should I do with both nights of audience reactions? Should I make them into one video, or should I just... do them separately? Just let me know in the comments. If not, I'll make a community post. So yeah, we got a lot to talk about with The Rise of Skywalker. There's a lot of stuff I liked about The Rise of Skywalker, and there's a lot of stuff I disliked about The Rise of Skywalker. I think we all went in with low expectations for this movie, probably because of The Last Jedi. And also the Rotten Tomatoes score that came out yesterday, it got a 58% rate. As of this recording right now, it's got a 58% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. This is the second Star Wars film to ever get a rotten rating, only behind The Phantom Menace. But anyway, we're going to go to the pros first. I love that Billy D. Williams back as Lando. That was awesome. And I'm oh, by the way, I'm going to say this. This review is going to be filled with spoilers. I'm just going to say this review will have spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie yet, do not watch this video if no spoilers, okay? This will include spoilers. I'm going to do a countdown from 10, and we're going to get to the spoilers, okay? Last chance to leave before spoilers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, spoilers coming. Billy D. Williams was back as Lando. That was awesome. Thankfully, I mentioned that first because that's not really much of a spoiler. Everybody knew he'd be back. I'm glad that Lando was not killed off in this movie. That was just perfect. It was nice seeing Carrie Fisher back as Princess Leia because despite the fact that Carrie Fisher died about 3 years ago, they used old, unseen, deleted footage from The Force Awakens so she could appear in this movie. So that was exciting. Let's see, what else did I like? I love that Rey's parents are actually very interesting. I like that the whole idea that Rey is no longer a Mary Sue. It turns out her Force abilities, she is Emperor Palpatine's daughter. Granddaughter, excuse me. Sorry. She is Emperor Palpatine's granddaughter. That's awesome. And I like that, so we have an explanation for her powers. And the ending scene where she goes back to Tatooine, Luke's old home, and then, declares herself as Rey Skywalker. That was awesome. Absolutely perfect. And Kylo Ren is probably my favorite of the new characters. His arc was perfect. Absolutely loved it. I loved the redemption he went through and everything. The way he got redeemed, and I'm glad they brought the helmet back. Nothing is the same without the helmet. I'll just tell you that right now. I love we got to know more about Finn's backstory and everything. We learned from the new character Janna that she was also a stormtrooper that, was not like those guys. And that was awesome. And I like how we finally got the interactions with Rey, Poe, and Finn. And I'm glad also Chewie didn't die. Chewbacca. I'm glad they didn't kill him off. And I loved the Han Solo cameo when Kylo Ren imagines Han Solo talking to him, and they kind of have a conversation similar to that on in the death scene from The Force Awakens. That was awesome. I really liked that. And I thought that I like how Luke Skywalker was actually back as I think we all knew it would be he would come back as a Force Ghost. His Force Ghost, the way Luke acted in this movie is how he should have acted in The Last Jedi. It's me. It's like Never mind, somebody's phone's ringing. But anyway, okay, so yeah, somebody's phone in my house was ringing. But anyway, I like that the way Luke acted and was portrayed in this movie. That's how he should have been portrayed in The Last Jedi, if you ask me. I think we all agree on that. And I was a little disappointed. I had a feeling he was going to have a small role, and I thought it was going to be disappointing because how then he would only have one movie in this new trilogy. But I like how it kind of, for this movie, they kind of gave, like, you know, each member of the trio their own little scene. Like, you know, Leia, and then they got with all our scenes with Rey. And then, so I like how they gave Luke, Han, and Leia actually their own little moment. Like, Leia with all her scenes with Rey, and then Han's with her scene, with his scene with Kylo Ren, and then Luke with, with Rey on the island. That was cool. And I like how Luke used his Jedi Master abilities to get his TIE fighter out of the water. And Leia's sacrifice, I think we all knew that was going to happen, and I thought it was handled perfectly. That was great. And the final act of the movie was great also. I love when all the resistance and all of them, everybody came back out there to fight. That was cool. The audience actually applauded at that scene. And we finally got the Kylo Ren and Rey kiss that we've all been asking for. And let's see, is there anything else, like, you know, other good things I like? I like how C-3PO had a much larger role in this film compared to in The Force Awakens. He was kind of used just like how Leia and some of the other original trilogy characters were. In The Last Jedi, though, he was completely sidelined. Like, literally, you pretty much, whenever he appeared on screen, you pretty much forgot that he was even in the movie. So I'm glad that C-3PO had a much larger role in this film. I like how they kind of did a little gotcha moment in the movie. I think, though, all of us kind of thought it, how Chewbacca was taken on the ship, and then it's believed it blown up, so it's believed Chewbacca got killed. And then, thankfully, though, we saw later that he was on a different ship, so he was alive. I think we all saw that coming, due to the fact how he appeared in a lot more scenes that appeared later in the movie in the trailer. And C-3PO, I like how he didn't, like, he got his memory back. I knew that would happen because, honestly, that scene in the trailer was like taking one last look at my friends. Like, there's no way, if that was supposed to be like a sacrifice or something like that, there's no way they would, you know, just allow, they would just have that scene appear in the trailer. That's not really J.J. Abrams' thing. Sorry if I'm yawning a bit. It's currently like 9:30 at night right now. Let's see. And yeah, and overall, it was good. Now, there was a lot of stuff I disliked about The Rise of Skywalker. I felt like some characters, I felt like Kerry Russell's character Zori was really underused a bit. She became one of those characters where it's like any actress could have played that role or something like that. You could have gotten somebody like Emily Blunt, Brie Larson, or something to play that role, and it literally would be the same. I feel like one thing though, if you're casting a well-known actor in a role, like, you know, make sure that character has a presence that would make them, like, you know, like, make it seem like that actor was worthy for the role. That was one part that kind of bummed me out a bit. I actually liked her character, but I did like the character Jannah, though. But there's a couple plot holes, though, that still remained unanswered. One is that we all know pretty much Palpatine was controlling Snoke. I'm just wondering, like, how was Palpatine alive, though? Like, is it a resurrection, or was he alive this whole time? That part they don't really get into detail about it. Unless I missed something, I didn't get up to go to the bathroom or anything. I was in the theater for the entire movie, but if I missed something, please somebody let me know in the comment center. So yeah, I felt like that was a little underused. That like, you know, was missing. And also, we still, despite the fact Maz Kanata had more screen time in this film than she did in The Last Jedi, it's like there was still no explanation for where she got the blue lightsaber. There's still no explanation for that. So those are two things I really wish they'd gone more into. And also, I felt like the pacing was really good, but I feel like the pacing was too fast. I feel like there's some scenes that could have been slowed down a bit. Oh, and by the way, for the pros, well, actually, no, wait, this is not really a pro. This is kind of a con and a pro. the whole thing of General Hux being the spy and kind of redeeming himself, I felt like that was a little unnecessary because then, immediately afterwards he gets killed. That was just, I don't know. That was just weird. And the final battle actually had me. I was kind of disappointed by one thing in the final battle, towards the end. Rey's sacrifice getting killed. I thought that was going to be I kind of felt like, Rey, it would have been a nice sacrifice, like an end to her character arc. And then Kylo Ren sacrificed himself and brought Rey back to life, which I was kind of disappointed about that, but I thought they were both going to live. And then after the kiss, then he died and vanished. I'm like, are you serious? That was just... He gets redeemed and he dies. Like, that was way too much of this Return of the Jedi style. Oh. Sorry, I was getting a sip of soda right there. But, yeah, I just felt like it would have been cool, though, if, like, Kylo Ren remained alive and redeemed and Rey died. I don't know. I just felt like that would be a great way to subvert expectations. Am I agree with that? I feel like that should have been Rey's sacrifice in that set. And also, there's this noticeable thing. We all know Carrie Fisher's scenes, like, there was unseen deleted footage from The Force Awakens that was used. And they used this rotoscoping thing to basically just take out the backgrounds and insert her into the scenes. I felt like that wasn't such a great idea because you could tell since they were from another movie and everything that all the backgrounds, like, it just felt like Leia just looked so out of the frame. Like, it wasn't like she was in the same scene. It was like she felt too inserted, if that's what I mean. Like, it was very, very, very distracting. Am I the only one who gets that connection? That I felt like that part was just way too distracting. Let's see, what else did I like? What else did I not like? Yeah, I just feel like Rey sacrificing herself would have been a cool little ending to her character arc. And also, there was still a lot of loose ends, kind of like this thing was marketed as the end of the Skywalker saga, but I felt like it was just the end of the sequel trilogy. It wasn't the end of this whole 40-year-old story. I feel like still the Skywalker saga story pretty much ended with Return of the Jedi. I just felt like it did not feel like the end of the Skywalker saga. It felt like the end of the sequel trilogy, but not the Skywalker saga, if you know what I mean. It felt like this was just the ending to the sequel trilogy and that there possibly could be more adventures to come with these guys, but... And honestly, I'm surprised as a con. I felt like Rose didn't get enough screen time. I know nobody really likes Rose, and I didn't really like her either, but I thought this movie was a chance to kind of redeem her, make her a more interesting character, but I don't know. I feel like she could have used a little more screen time. And let's see, what else did I not like? I felt like the whole thing, we kept going from planet to planet to planet. It just felt a little too distracting. I feel like, we kept just jumping from planet to planet. Like, we didn't get enough time to see, with more planets. I'm seeing the movie again tomorrow, so maybe my opinion could change on these, or who knows, maybe my opinion could get even worse after looking at maybe more reviews and stuff. After I upload this video, I plan on watching Ross Weston's review of it. I saw his rant against The Last Jedi. It was hilarious and satisfying, so who knows? Let's see. Yeah, and I also don't like Rey is the one who killed the Emperor. I don't know. I feel like her and Kylo Ren should have done that together. And I also would have liked at the end when we see the ghosts of Luke and Leia. I don't know. I feel like Han should have been there so that way we could have gotten a full scene of them, of the trio together. But then again, that wouldn't make sense because Han was not a Jedi. Let's see. I'm just going to say that this movie, was it the best film that Disney released? No, I still think that goes to Rogue One. Was it better than The Last Jedi? Yes. I'd give this movie about probably like a, I want to say like about a 7 out of 10. It was very divisive though, and it probably will be very divisive. I'm sure that eventually though, this will, this movie's going to get quite a bit of hate. Well, rule of thumb here. You can't please everybody. All right, that's kind of my little review of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Sorry, I really thought I would have gone into more detail. I should have taken more notes of this, but I'm going to see the movie again tomorrow. Maybe I might do another review. Who knows? If any of you guys want to see those audience reactions, please let me know of how I should do them. Anyway, have a nice night.